The very last list, which will be for the selection sort. Now, selection sorting works a little bit differently. It works by finding the smallest value. So we'll actually iterate through the list to find the smallest value. Once we do find the smallest value, we run a comparator through all the numbers. We check to see which one's the smallest or the largest. Actually, it'll work both ways. It doesn't matter because you'll either append to the very bottom of the list or the very top. In this case, I just ran with the smallest value. What we do once we find that smallest value is we'll actually put it at the very start of the list. So here we can run a test code real quick. Let's just shuffle this list and see what happens here. So we start with a 7 and a 10. So what we expect is the program to go through this list, find the smallest value. It'll go through all here. As soon as it captures the 1, it'll still check all the rest to make sure that it is the smallest one, but it'll hold that value and it'll replace it to the very beginning of the list. So that value and then the 7, which will be the index 0 position of this list, will swap positions. Is that what we expect to happen? We have a 1 and the 7 that actually swap places. Perfect. So it'll go through the same list over and over again. So the next item will be a 2. Since we can shorten that list, we don't need the very first value to be checked again. Otherwise, it'll just keep pulling the 1 over and over again. So we want to shorten that list so that it's everything but that first member of the list, and then keep going through the list until we have the list as the final value. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. So here, going through the code, we just want to, again, have n be the length of the user list. We want to check the members of I for I to the range of n minus 1, actually, for this one. And then we just need to save a variable here for the smallest, because this part of the loop here, this for loop, will actually check to see what the smallest is. When it does get that, then it will update this value with whatever the smallest variable is. And then here we have an if statement that says if it's not the smallest, then we actually want those values to swap once it's done with gathering that value for the smallest. We actually want the smallest and the first index position available to us to swap locations. When all those loops are done here, this position, then we can complete the list here and just return the list. So that will be it for the selection sort.